Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Optimum Derby Live. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn today, you're very welcome. My name's Martin Crowson. I'm joined as ever by the MD of Optimum Derby, Tom Heeley. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Martin. You all right?
Yes, thank you. You?
Yeah, good. You were just telling me about your lovely trip you just had.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a tan on me, which will soon be worn off very, very quickly.
Definitely glowing. Definitely glowing.
Yeah, yeah. I should have worn a white T-shirt actually today because it only lasts about a week. Chance for me to show it off. Anyway, talking of white, we're doing a series on snow sports. This is the first of 5 we're going to do over the next 5 weeks. Tom's got a very rich history with treating the very best of British skiers, which he's going to tell you about in a little bit. And before we get on to the specific sections we're going to do over the next 4 weeks, which are going to be what's it like working remotely with the GB Snowsport team, getting ready for your skiing trip this winter and things you should be doing, how to reduce the risk of knee injuries, which is often a scourge of skiers, what should a warm-up on the slopes include, and how important is that equipment that you either take with you or hire. Today, we're just going to do a little bit of an intro into Tom's background in skiing, who he's worked with, when he's worked with them, and for how long for, just so that you know that the information you're going to be getting over the next 4 weeks is coming from a really good place, from someone that knows a hell of a lot about what he's talking about. So with that build-up, Tom, what's it like working with the British snowboard?
That's quite a big build-up, that is. That's quite a big build-up.
Massive build-up, yeah. First, tell us a little bit more about how you got the job in the first place and how long you've been working with. I know you're with the moguls team now, but set up as a whole and going back to the working with people ahead of Olympic Games.
Yeah, previously I was sort of I suppose I had a role where I helped support and manage the athletes when they were back here in the UK and they were injured. So I worked as part of the park and pipe team. So if you ever see the half pipe or the guys who go across the rails, or big air falls into that category now as well. So like one massive jump and some trick. So
we're talking about the big U-bends. People go up, do a somersault, come back down, and then go do the same on the way down.
Yeah, absolutely that. And they usually have some huge injuries. So I worked with them over 3 Olympics, which is going to be Sochi would be the first one, where Jenny Jones won a medal, and then it went through to PyeongChang, I think, and then China, I think was the last one. So I went through those 3, and my main role was basically in the UK to support the athletes. So we had a physio who travelled away with the team, and Alison would travel to New Zealand or Canada or the States or wherever the training camp was, and if there was an injury that was sufficient enough for her to send back to the UK and couldn't manage out there, maybe a significant fracture or an ACL or whatever it would be, I would be involved in. That's where I would start to get involved. And then because we're quite what we would call a decentralized team, where if you think of a football club, everyone turns up to the football club every day. The training takes place at the football club. The gym's there, the physios are there, the rehab facilities are all there on site. It's not like that in ski and snowboard because we haven't got one slope that everyone just attends.
Yeah.
And pretty much all of that takes place abroad. So the athletes may come back to the UK, maybe in maybe not even in the UK, maybe come back home and are based in Southampton or in the States or Bristol or Sheffield, Manchester, wherever it may be. And my job with them was to kind of find them a local therapist and a fitness coach and work with our team that we had to deliver the support to those guys through other means. And that might be going to meet the athlete wherever they lived, or they would come to the space that we had, and we would help them there and support them there as well.
Okay. One of the athletes that sticks in my mind since we've been working together, which is now a long time, was Molly Summerhayes.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Molly's journey, because that was an Olympic-based recovery program, wasn't it, that you undertook with her and lasted a hell of a long while?
Yeah, so Molly ruptured her ACL. I'm trying to think of the dates now. Molly ruptured her ACL. It must have been about 2017-ish time, somewhere around there, 2018 maybe. And then we worked quite closely, almost a couple of times a week, really. We would catch up with Molly and go through her recovery process and do a lot of work in the gym and do a lot of work kind of feeding back into then her technical coach and back into her gymnastics training to get ready to go back on snow. In a way, the skiing bit's kind of the easy bit for these guys. It's the sort of the acrobatics and the work in the air that's the challenging bit that takes a bit more time to come back. The technical skiing stuff is actually the bit that's probably the easiest bit for them to return to.
I remember what struck me at that time as well, Tom, was the amount of work you did with Molly before her operation. It's almost like you think they're injured, so they're out of it, have their op, and they're on the way back. But that process was quite lengthy as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did loads of work. And that would be the same for anybody. You know, if anybody was to come in here in the clinic here at Optimum and had a significant injury of some description, to get back as quick as you can after the surgery is doing as much work safely as possible beforehand, and build as much strength and flexibility and range of movement before surgery. It makes the whole process a lot smoother on the other side. Yeah.
So we moved to modern day. You last year started working specifically with the moguls team, which looks an unbelievably difficult thing to actually do. I imagine I can't even look at it without getting sore knees. So what was it like starting working with them, and what sort of injuries were you dealing with in that first year?
Yeah, no, it was great. Started about this time last year, really. Yeah, kind of this time last year. And quite quickly went on a camp just before Christmas, or two camps really. We had a trip to Sweden, a trip to Finland, and then a trip to Sweden straight off the back of that.
Quickly, I've got a picture there of you landing in Finland, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Kuusamo Airport. Yeah, tiny little place with just a bus. So you have to get on the bus, and the bloke, when basically nobody gets on the bus anymore, he assumes that everybody's on the bus and he goes. There's nowhere else to go, so he just assumes that everyone off the flight is on the bus. And if you've gone to the toilet and you missed the bus, you've missed the bus, and you have to wait for the next one. God knows when it is.
Okay, that's an experience.
So if you ever go to the airport, make sure you get on the bus.
And then you were getting to see sites like this.
Yeah. So this was sort of our office, if you want to call it, I suppose. This was I think this might be Italy. I can't quite remember now where that might be. That might be Kazakhstan. I can't remember. That was one of the courses from last year. So you can see there's obviously the start gate at the very, very top.
Yeah.
You probably can't quite see just from the depth of the picture, but there's maybe 5 or 6 bumps, very similar to the bottom, a little bit harsher, a little bit bigger bumps. And then it goes into the first jump. And then you've got maybe 20 to 25 bumps through the middle. And then you've got another jump. And then you've got these small 3 or 4 bumps at the bottom.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very knee heavy, a lot of absorption forces, a lot of sort of what are the words I'm looking for? Yeah, rebounds really, and a lot of control and almost suspension. Rebounding off the moguls themselves. Yeah.
As well as knees. What about hips? What were the things that you were finding? What was the real challenge for you in that role and the physios to make sure that people stay fit?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on mobility. So making sure that mobility is well maintained really through the season to avoid getting out of shape and getting a little bit out of position. I work quite hard with the strength and conditioning coach who is based up in Manchester, Nathan. And we work together quite a lot on planning exercises and the strength and conditioning program and what that looks like to keep the athletes on snow. And that might be all sorts of funny things, from a lot of hamstring strengthening stuff, some heavy lifting stuff, to some like slightly awkward, weird exercises, but are really useful. And we plan that. So that'll be through a period of maybe home-based training. So we would call that land-based training, and then into maybe a block of a camp. So it might be a 10-day, 2-week camp on snow somewhere. So that those sorts of training sessions are modified based on the session on the snow or on the land, what the particular athlete is working on, whether they're working on some particular acrobatic work, or even whether they just need to top up on some of their strength areas from testing that we've done through the season around their hamstrings or their core or their cardiovascular work. Okay.
On a personal level, what's it like working in places like this? They look fairly remote. It looks like you've got a very focused day, but I guess it gets dark about 3 o'clock and doesn't light up till 9, 10 or whatever. So what's it like? Challenging?
Especially
food's very cold.
Yeah, especially sort of up in sort of Scandinavia. it was cold, and it was also very dark very soon. It took me by surprise, and that was something that we'll look to implement slightly differently this season. So things like your vitamin D tablets are quite key. Just don't. There's not a lot of sunlight, if any at all. Maybe 4, 5, 6 hours max, and then it's literally like someone's turn the lights off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So in terms of it kind of throws your day a bit and skews your day a little bit, and also I'm quite reactive to how the athletes are and what the conditions are like, and also what the competition's like. So we've got a girls and a guys competition which run on the same days but at different times throughout the day. So that might mean doing some work in the morning with one of the guys, and then he goes off on the slopes, and then it might mean hanging around a little bit, seeing one of the girls or working with the girls, and then they go out on the slopes, and then we'll all kind of go together. Yeah. Or it might be that I'm kind of shuffling back and forth. It kind of depends on what the setup's like. So you need to be quite flexible and quite happy to almost go with the flow a little bit, and what the routine's like, and be happy to change as well. You might do it on the first day and then decide that didn't work and do it differently the next day.
Sure. You need to be pretty flexible with what you're doing then. Learn on the spot, learn on the job.
Yeah, almost. There's a little bit of that. There's some stuff you can plan, some things you can organise, obviously. Gym sessions are quite easy to organise. We know when to put those in. But then in terms of like actual logistics of moving yourself around the resort or around the mountain to be in the right place at the right time, sometimes needs a little bit of difficulty, really. We're trying to organise that. But it's it's a good little challenge, really. It's a good little challenge. We haven't got a huge squad. We haven't got an unlimited budget. So there's only one of me, there's one coach. We haven't got a massive team. So I end up doing all sorts of funny things like being a taxi driver, being a bit of a cook, being a bit of a chef. You end up just getting involved and doing different things. And
just briefly tell the viewers that story you told me, Tom, about one of the winners of the event who was out there and then was straight back in the gym the minute he finished. Because, you know, to the layman who's not into moguls, like I was down there in 45 seconds, win my gold medal, and then get on the San Miguel's for the rest of the day. But not like that.
No. So there's quite a short turn. Well, there's a week's turnaround between events, and you have to travel. So you have to get on a plane somewhere to move. There's no competitions that aren't a plane ride away. So we were in where were we? We were in Finland. We were in Sweden. Sorry, we were in Sweden. Competition finished on the Sunday. We got knocked out of the competition early on, and I was downstairs back having lunch in the restaurant, and we were just watching the results come in on our phones. And we saw that who'd won the men's event. We'd finished our lunch, and we went in the gym. The reason we went in the gym on the same day as the competition was because if we don't go in the gym today, we travel tomorrow, where you're not going to get a chance to.
Sure.
Tuesday's then your next opportunity, but then you're going to be back on snow on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's difficult to kind of get it in any other time other than directly after the competition.
Yeah.
So literally the competition had finished. We'd seen the results come through on our phone. We walked to the gym, and within 10 minutes, the guy who just won the competition came in the gym as well and started doing his session. And I was like, what? This is mad. But the mindset's great to kind of get in there, get that done, get that work, and tick that box ready for the next weekend, because there's limited opportunity you get to do that with the traveling involved.
Yeah, sure. You've spoken about lots of them, but what other challenges might there be for you and also for the team in doing the best you can be to be able to compete as successfully as you can be?
I think one thing I probably try and do myself, and this is probably more from not so much from a therapy point of view, but more from a bit more rounded, is trying to learn different things from different people. So it might be speaking to a nutritionist and trying to pick up some tips there, because like I said, there's only often the coach and me. So if I can be a bit of a soundboard for all things sports science related, that makes a huge benefit to the athletes that I'm with, and also supports the coach. So sometimes I'm at the bottom of the mountain filming sessions. So I might be like, right, ready, steady, go. And I've got to like click record. And it seems small, but like it's just little things you've just got to get involved in. But yeah, trying to be a bit more of a rounded sports scientist is something that I've been trying to work on a little bit more. So I'm doing a strength and conditioning module at the minute, which is called through a company called Exos. And I'm trying to do a little bit more nutrition work as well, and just become a bit more, offer more really, rather than just be a therapist. Deliver a little bit more than that.
as we said, we're going to be doing 4 more videos in the next 4 weeks with tips for you if you're interested in getting better for your skiing this winter. But Tom, if people want to come and see you at the clinic, either with or without an injury, you've obviously worked with some fantastic people and some skiers at a top level. How can you help people? How can you help people this winter?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm probably coming up in the next few weeks is more about maximizing your time as to what you're doing. So if you are going away, whether that's for a week or whether that's for the full season, and you want to be the best that you can be and enjoy the time the most and make the most of your time on the slopes, is what are you doing in preparation? Anybody can go to the gym and just do some stuff in the gym on some machines, but are you doing the right stuff and are you doing the right repetitions and the right weights and reps and sets? So I suppose that's something that we can help with in terms of planning those things. And that's not just in preparation, but also sort of like after injury as well. Are you doing the right things at the right times to maximize your recovery, as well as your preparation work?
Okay, great stuff. We've got plenty of videos on the Optimum YouTube channel if you'd like to check them out. And just with the nods, the sort of stuff we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. There's one up at the moment, which is a football series we've just finished with Tom about how to rehab a hamstring, which I guess is also something that could come up for skiers. We've had a video on torn Achilles tendons to have a look at, and if you're in serious trouble, there's this really serious one there about patella hamstring grafts for ACL repairs, which is also well worth a watch. If you'd like to find out a little bit more about Tom's business, Optimum Derby, please get in and have a look on the website there, which is at the bottom of the screen there, to find out all the physio and sports therapy and sports massage work that you can get at the Optimum Clinic. If you're watching us on YouTube today, please subscribe and you'll be the first to know for our upcoming videos if you hit that notification bell. And if you'd like to email Tom for some more information on anything, Tom's email address is at the bottom of the screen right now. That just leaves me, Martin Croson, to say thanks a lot for watching today. Catch up with us over the next 4 weeks for more skiing-related subjects. A reminder of what they are is how to reduce the risk of knee injuries, get ready for your ski trip this winter and things you should be doing now, what should a warm-up on the slopes look like, and how important is that equipment that you're going to either take with you or hire at the resort. Tom, thanks a lot for joining us today. Much appreciated as ever. We'll be back. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you hopefully again here back on LinkedIn or YouTube watching Optimum Derby next week. All the best, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.